Hey guys, Phil here with Backyard Range, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Javelin 370 by CenterPoint Crossbows. As soon as we figure out which direction the wind is coming from here, we're going to set up our backstop and we're going to get started. Okay, so I think we have it figured out. It's primarily coming out of the southeast, although we're getting some out of the southwest and we're getting some from the east, but it's most prevalent coming from the southeast, so we're just going to have to time our shots. And with that said, let's get this thing built. Okay guys, so our target and backstop is set up. We're going to be taking a look at what we're actually going to be shooting today. This is the Javelin 370. We have a CNC machined aluminum shoot-through rail. We have CNC machined cams. We have fiberglass quad limbs. We have an upper and lower pick rail. We have a forward hand grip with finger guards. We have a 4x32 scope. We have an AR style hand grip. We have AR style buttstock and buffer tube, and we can actually change this out. This appears to be mil-spec, and I can swap this out with just about any mil-spec buttstock that I wish. Yesterday we attempted to sight this in at 25 yards. My guess here is the intention was for the scope to be sighted in at 10 yards, but we're going to be pushing this thing as far as we can push it today. It's a little windy out, so we're going to do the best that we can, but in order to sight this in at 25 yards, I'm going to have to swap this out with a rifle scope. With that being said, let's go ahead and get this thing sighted in with the new scope and see how far we can push it. Okay, so we've got our scope swapped out. We've got it sighted in right where the other one was sighted in, so we're going to have to make a few adjustments here. We're going to give a couple shots. We're probably going to do a time lapse on that just so I can get this thing zeroed in perfectly. And then we're going to take this out to 50 yards, probably move it out to 60 to 70 to 80, and hopefully we'll get all the way out to 100 yards, and we'll see just how far we can get this thing to shoot. With a 185-pound draw, it should have enough energy to get us out there with no problems. It's whether or not we can shoot it accurately in all of this wind. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this thing zeroed in at 25 yards and see how far we can push it. Well, look at that, guys. First shot, bullseye. I'd say we're right on the money. So we're going to move this thing out to 50 yards and we're going to give it another shot here. Doesn't get any more perfect than that. Okay, so here we are out here at 50 yards, and according to the ballistics calculator, a 371 grain arrow should drop about 8 inches at 25 yards, which is where we zeroed this in at. At 50 yards, we should be seeing somewhere around a 34-inch drop. So doing the math here, we're probably going to be dropping about 26 inches between where we shot our last shot and where we're going to be shooting this shot. So that being said, we've never fired with this scope before, so I'm going to have to find out where exactly that is in the scope. But let's go ahead and give it a shot here and see where we end up. Okay, so it took about took about 15 inches of drop in that shot, and we still ended up pretty close to a foot low. So we're gonna give it another shot here. It still looks like the windage though is right on. Okay, so it looks like our elevation is right. I pulled a little bit to the left there when I fired that. We're gonna run down, we're gonna grab our bolts, we're gonna come back and we're gonna try it again. So yeah, we have one of our bolts is shooting I don't know, a few inches higher than the other one. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but we're going to take that bolt out of the mix and we're going to shoot with the one for now and try to eliminate accuracy problems due to maybe the fletchings. So that being said, let me go down and get the arrows. We're going to move this out to 75 yards and we're going to see what we can do from there. Okay guys, so at 50 yards with one of our bolts, we are dead on the money. We're out here at 75 yards, and at 75 yards we're talking about a whopping 80 inches of drop. So this is really going to be a testament as to whether or not this is a really accurate bow. 50 yards is impressive, but 75 yards, it's going to take me a minute to try to figure out exactly where to aim this thing. 80 inches is quite a distance, so give me a few moments. Let me figure out where that's going to be on my scope here, and I'll be right back with you. So this is our first shot at 75 yards, and to be honest, that's kind of impressive. Okay guys, so the first shot was actually not too far off. I'm going to make just a small adjustment here. We're about out of crosshairs in this thing, so I'm going to be shooting it without any crosshairs in order to get us to 75 yards. And I can't actually see that in the scope. We're going to walk down to the other end and see what we got here. Oh, just a little bit higher. A little bit too far. Okay guys, we're at 100 yards here, and I don't even have a calculator that can tell me how much drop there's going to be at this distance. We saw 34 inches of drop at 50 yards, about 80 inches of drop at 75 yards. So I'm going to do a little bit of quick math here in my head, and we're going to just lob one in there and see where we end up. Okay guys, unfortunately we're gonna have to conclude this video. I overshot my target at 100 yards and put it right in between the bales of straw that we had back there, destroyed one of our fletchings on our good bolt here. That, and we have a storm rolling in. It's going to be here any second, so we really don't have time to fix any of this stuff. But that being said, at a price tag of $299, this was a really impressive crossbow. We got a pretty accurate shot here at 75 yards. Judging by what I saw through the scope, we were pretty right on target as far as our windage was concerned. It was the elevation that I shot a little bit high. That being said, had we had another bolt out here, I have no doubts that we could have at least made contact with our target. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time at the Backyard Range.